Lamar is once again talking big about expanding his business, but as usual, he's just bluffing. He mentions a gang leader we need to kidnap. By the way, Lamar's dog is named Chow. Hopefully one day Chow him. Lamar promises he won't fantasize about my aunt anymore. I just brush it off with a, yeah, whatever. I get into the driver's seat of the van, while Lamar puts Chow in the back and we hit the road. During the ride, Lamar goes on and on about what a piece of trash OG is. When we arrive, OG is standing at the corner, selling drugs to some girl. We put on our masks. OG notices us coming and gets suspicious. I pull out my gun and say, I'm gonna you, OG. OG smirks and says, how about you kiss here? Before revving up his motorcycle and speeding off, we start chasing him. As we jump into the van, I suddenly remember, we forgot about Chow. Turns out he was in the back all along. I yell at Lamar, you idiot! How am I supposed to catch OG with this old piece of junk? Lamar just shrugs. Don't worry, just follow him. We'll catch him somewhere. Trust me. So I floor it, making our old van push its limits. While chasing OG, luck is on our side. He crashes. Lamar warns me to let Chow loose. I release the dog, but OG has already gotten up and started running again. Like two wild dogs, we take off after him. I run like crazy, but OG is sprinting like Usain Bolt. There's no way to catch up. He's jumping over everything like Spider-Man. That's when I make my decision. I'll charge through everything like Juggernaut. As I run, the gap between us widens. We reach the train station. Just when we're about to catch him, OG finds another way to escape. Now, the only one I can rely on is Chow. Chow starts sniffing around trying to track OG down. He makes me open a few train doors, but there's still no sign of OG. Suddenly, Chow takes off running, and I follow. I think he's found OG, but nope, turns out he's just in the mood for some action. Chow has locked eyes on another dog and is making a move. That's not a good look for you, I say, pulling him away. After letting out a few pleasure barks, Chow finally remembers his job and starts running again. I follow him closely. As we keep opening train doors, Chow finally finds OG. OG takes off again, and Chow and I chase after him. Chow wants OG, but I hold him back. Lamar finally pulls up in the van, and we throw both OG and Chow into the back so they can enjoy their honeymoon. Yep, Chow has fallen in love with OG. Lamar starts calling the bad guys for ransom. I get furious because he just gave away our location. I call him an idiot and decide to let OG go. Chow freaks out like, who am I supposed to now? Chaos erupts. I drop Lamar off at the address he gave me. As we part ways, he starts bragging about himself again, typical Lamar. I remind him that today, I saved his Chow and I. See you in the next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. After making a mess of the last OG incident, I go to see Michael. Every time I visit Michael, something always happens. Last time, when I came for work, his son had stolen the yacht. Suddenly, a naked man appears from the balcony, jumps down, and starts running. I was going to have my mother live in palaces, but damn, this palace. When I reach the stairs, I notice that the door is open. As I enter, Amanda and Michael rush towards me. I tell Michael to calm down and ask him to explain what happened. Michael says that his wife, Amanda, was cheated on by her tennis coach. Are we surprised? No. I say to Michael, wait, I remember the footage. Michael replies, stop, don't remember. He said, I know what kind of my wife is. Michael asks for my help to restore his honor. Amanda has already closed the doors to her old relationship and set sail into a new one. We start chasing the guy in the red car. During the chase, I want to tell Michael, you know, Michael, your wife, from the front, back, window, door, in every way. But then I add, hey, Michael, have you heard? Los Santos City is making trains for your wife and daughter. What I say hits Michael hard, and we end up in a crash. To console him, I say, Amanda is an honorable woman. In the end, we find the red car. The naked man is on the balcony. Michael's wife was cheated on, and she's showing it off on the balcony. Damn, run, hide. Michael angrily gets out of the car and says, what is your name? What is your name? Tony. Tony. What is your name? What is your name? Ezekiel. Ezekiel? That name In the heart of Los Santos, Michael and the tennis player start discussing their family issues in front of everyone. We're all embarrassed. I tie the rope tightly to avoid more embarrassment. Meanwhile, I notice that the tennis player's underwear is the same as the woman's clothes. Did he wear the woman's underwear? What a gigolo. This guy reminded me of G-Man from Half-Life. G-Man was also a complete jerk. Michael goes through a real drama. He gets in the car, floors the gas. After speeding up, he crashes into G-Man's house. Michael, like a panther, has messed with G-Man's house. We head out. Michael feels a bit relieved. He says he's not sorry for what he did. Just then, Michael gets a phone call. It's G-Man calling. Michael says a few things and hangs up. It turns out the house we blew up was the home of a famous Mafia boss. And just like Michael, G-Man also cheated on his wife. Michael, you're not alone. The Mafia starts following us. What G-Man did to Michael's wife, the Mafia will do to us this time. They ram our car from behind 2 times. I grab a weapon and take down the Mafia guys who are shooting at us from behind one by one. Naturally, after all this commotion, the police arrive. We manage to evade them and continue on our way. We arrive home. My eyes drift back to the balcony and I get tense. Michael tells me that he owes me for the help I gave him. I reply, Oh, don't worry about it. Amanda will pay anyway. The joke is over. Suddenly, we hear car noises. The one coming is Mr. Madrazo, the Mafia boss whose house we blew up. He's famous. He asks for my identity, and I give it to him. I introduce Mr. Madrazo to Michael. After a while, Mr. Madrazo introduces himself to Michael. Madrazo, just like in The Walking Dead, beats Michael but doesn't crush his head. Michael falls, and Madrazo starts listing his demands. He wants us to pay for his house. Madrazo's woman spits in Michael's face. The only thing left is that they didn't Michael. I feel sorry for Michael. All right, see ya, I say. See you in the next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I call my friend Lester and ask him for money. I tell him about my problems with the Mafia boss Madrazo. He tells me, come, let's talk. So I get up and go to see Lester. I haven't seen him since the last incident. Hold on, let me remind you who Lester is with this video. I arrive at Lester's house. He lives in a crappy place. I quickly climb the stairs and approach the door. I knock and make a hand gesture. The door opens, and I step into the filthy house. My friend Lester has become a hacker. The house smells like farts. Lester confirms it. Back in the day, during a robbery, Lester was shot in the large intestine. Now, wherever he goes, he farts. People in the neighborhood have nicknamed him Farting Lester. Because of this, he learned hacking farting all day while working from home. The person responsible for this is me, and I feel ashamed. Lester tells me how I can redeem myself. He explains the job in detail, hands me a bag, and sends me to an address. After grabbing the bag, I move quickly, get in the car, start the engine, and drive to the given address. I arrive at the first location, get out of the car, and enter a store. Once inside, I mention Lester's regards. The lady at the store gives me a discount just because I mentioned Lester. Here you go, pick something, she says. I end up looking like a hippie IT guy. By the way, the lady is pretty hot. I leave the store and get in my car. Without even closing the door properly, I head to the next address. The door won't shut, but I keep going anyway. Lester calls and tells me to change the phone battery once I get inside. You idiot! You already gave the instructions at home, I think to myself. I arrive at the second location and light a cigarette outside. While I'm smoking, an office worker approaches. Another hippie-looking guy. I light his cigarette too. We chat for a bit and he invites me inside. No one even asks for my ID. Screw this job, I mutter. He asks me to remove a virus from his computer. Of course, it was our farting friend Lester who put it there in the first place. I follow Lester's instructions and clean the virus. After running the program, the antivirus removes everything. Our goofy hippie guy dances in excitement. He tells me the phone prototype is in the room. I grab my bag and enter the room. After checking the area, I open my bag, take out the phone, and replace the battery. Then, I leave the room. I walk out of the office as casually as possible. Without drawing attention, I run quickly, get in my car, and drive off. On my way home, Lester calls me and tells me to watch the phone presentation. I'm almost home. All right, I say and park the car. When I arrive, I start wondering again, is Amanda cheating on me? I look around suspiciously. When I walk in, it turns out my daughter is just watching TV. I look at her and signal her to leave the room. We argue a little. I take the remote from her. I sink into the couch and relax. The presentation starts, and I watch calmly. CEO Jay Norris says, I'm going to each and every one of you. The audience claps. Jay continues. You still don't get it? He makes a hand gesture, and the audience claps again. Then he shows the phone. With this, you're Just as he's speaking, I call the phone. It explodes. His head is blown off.